Meanwhile, back in Parliament, they're still calling for Mendicino to resign. Wow, he's not going anywhere, is he? This guy, he's sticking to his guns.
Madam Speaker, the Minister of Public Safety's failure to prevent the transfer of notorious killer Paul Bernardo to a medium security facility was not a mistake. It was a direct consequence of these Liberals' soft on crime policies like Bill C-83. Yesterday, Conservatives gave this government an opportunity to rectify this injustice, but they voted us down. Canadians are watching. The Minister of Public Safety needs to be held accountable for this travesty. Will the Prime Minister have the courage to sack this incompetent minister, or will the minister do us all a favour and resign already?
Unfortunately, I have the embarrassment that this Mark Holland is my MP in Ajax, so sorry about that, guys.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative partisan interest in disliking the minister has been well established, and they continue to repeat that. That's a separate conversation from the conversation we need to have about this situation, which is greatly upsetting to everyone, which is that a decision that is made independent of government, it's done by Correctional Services Canada, to make a transfer effective is something that we're deeply concerned about. That's why there's a review, and in 2 weeks' time, Correctional Services could come back with their decision. But I fundamentally reject the premise that the approach the member is talking about would work. It's failed everywhere in the world.
The honourable member for Sturgeon River Park.
Well, Madam Speaker, we know that the Prime Minister and the Minister of Public Safety's offices knew about this transfer for 3 months. This was no mistake. This was a result of this Liberal government's agenda. Again, this didn't have to happen. Yesterday, Liberals had a chance to right this wrong, but instead they chose to double down on their failure. And for the Liberals to claim otherwise is misinformation. When will this minister formally change his title from Minister of Public Safety to Minister of Misinformation?
Mr. Speaker, there's a peppering of a lot of partisan comments here, and I would just say that this is a deeply serious issue about crimes that every single one of us were impacted by. As I've said earlier, Madam Speaker, this is a decision that is made by Correctional Services Canada that we have long made sure in our country, throughout its history, is operating independently from the actions of politics. In fact, we have been very careful to ensure that politics is not inserted in that process. And so if we want to have a conversation about the outrage we feel about this crime.
A Liberal Bill C-83 allowed rapist and killer Paul Bernardo to be moved from a maximum to a medium security prison. Under the Corrections and Conditional Release Act, the Minister of Public Policy Safety has the power to send him back where he belongs, but he refused to do so. His office knew about the transfer for months, but the minister chose to remain blissfully ignorant. Why won't he take the responsibility and resign?
So everybody wants it gone except for Trudeau and his gang of misinformation creators. Is this the most misinformationed government ever to exist? Gee. Okay, till next time, guys.